Welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk podcast. Today's Sunday, April 6, 2025. And here on episode 76, I'm with Kean Kropp and Carson Kropp. I'm Cody Kropp, and today we are coming at you with our consensus top 5 edge rushers from this 2025 NFL draft class. So we watched them all, ranked them all up. We got our notes and what we think, and if anyone's overrated, underrated, all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in.
Yeah, we've been edging all week.
All week. Been a long week.
We're ready to go.
We are ready to go.
I'm raring to go, man.
So with that being said, let's get right into it. We got a couple guys tied here. So the first guy we're going to be talking about, tied for fourth, is Jalen Walker out of Georgia. 6'1", 243 pounds with 32-inch arms. In 2024, he played 16 games, 60 total tackles, 37 solo. He had a 17.2% pass rush win rate. He had 6.5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, 34 pressures, 0 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. Kean had him at 9. Carson had him at 4. I had him at 3. So I'm going to start on him here. Jalen Walker he's like a hybrid player who can play both edge and linebacker. He's got a good closing burst. He's incredibly athletic, and he's a very natural rusher in general. He's got strong drive through the blocks while he's blitzing. He follows the play and gets downhill very well. He can be productive from both sides of the line, and he's got a overall good motor, which I'll touch on in a minute.
Yeah, the biggest thing for him that I liked is just how he's versatile and he can be used as an off-ball or on-ball linebacker, kind of like Micah Parsons was used earlier in his career before he became a full-time edge rusher. And I think that if a defense can figure out how to use him in the right way, he can be dangerous. But I do have some concerns about him if Kean has nothing else to say.
No, I was just going to say he played 249 snaps on the defensive line this season and 311 snaps in the box as a linebacker. So he played slightly more as a linebacker, but you can definitely see that he has some good linebacker traits. He's got fast pursuit in the open field with great acceleration, very quick and shifty feet. He's able to juke out the offensive tackles, the offensive linemen that he faces up against. He doesn't want them to get into his chest because he knows that he's not the strongest, being at 6'1", 243, but he is a freak athlete. He's an evader. I wish he would have worked out at the combine. I think it would have been sparks flying, fireworks. I really like this guy as a defensive weapon, not really as an edge, so that'll go right into my cons here. But he's my edge 9. If I ranked him as a linebacker, he'd be my linebacker 6, right behind Chris Paul Jr. That's how highly I think of this guy as a linebacker. So that's why he's so low for me as an edge rusher, and we would have put him with the linebackers if I had thought of it at the time. I didn't realize I was going to like this guy so much as a linebacker, but I just think that his movement ability on top of his small size, I don't think it's worth it to throw him on the defensive line, ask him to maybe bulk up, get stronger, because I don't think he has that great of strength right now. I think that the strength that he gets is more of like a speed that he turns into power, as just like using momentum and stuff. And inertia, is that the correct term for inertia? You're a physics guy.
That's like resistance to. Well, it's like how much time. Inertia. It's like.
Sorry, I threw you on
momentum.
The spot.
I don't know how
I think
to.
momentum is the correct way.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it in a good way, but momentum is the right word.
Okay.
Inertia is like resistance to change in motion, kind of, and then momentum's like how much energy you have, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Kinetic energy.
Yeah.
Potential energy.
Yeah.
But I'm just concerned about this guy. I think he can be taken out of a run play, and if an offensive lineman can drive down on him before he tries to sidestep. Like I said, if he were on my team, he would be a linebacker, or he would be some kind of defensive weapon because his movement skills are too good for me to throw him on the line. But I can see he does still have potential on the edge because he is a freak athlete with just insane movement skills and drive toward the ball carrier.
Yeah, I'd also like to see him play off-ball linebacker more than edge because of those reasons, and just be used like a Swiss Army knife. He loses against strong and long linemen like is in the NFL, doesn't have any power moves. He has average bend. He kind of plays upright.
I agree.
I don't think he has amazing instincts either, which is why I wouldn't rank him super high as a linebacker. And I just couldn't rank him any higher than I did at 4 because I ranked him as a defensive weapon, like what you get when you draft him. And I just couldn't rank him any higher than 4 because I'm worried that because he just isn't very special at any one position, and he's just versatile and good at a couple of positions, I think this could lead to a bust Isaiah Simmons style. Because I think that, like Ian said, he's his edge 9 and linebacker 6, so it's like he can be used as both, but in the NFL you want him to be elite at something, because in college you lack playmakers, so you need him to play multiple positions. But in the NFL, when you're paying guys that are the best of the best at every position, you need him to be great. And I just think if he's good here and good there, then he can't do anything great for your team. And this is a concern for me.
It's one of those things like in high school, there's the kids, like all of us, whenever you're, like, we're not elite basketball players. So, like, I don't care if I spend my time running cross country, running track. But, like, if you're an elite basketball player and you're going to make it to the league, you need to focus on basketball. Meaning you need to focus on one position in football if you want to be elite at it. Unless you're somebody who's a freak like Micah Parsons. And this guy isn't Micah Parsons. He doesn't have the strength of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is taller. I'm looking at his size at the combine right now. And he just had much better production the whole way through. So that's that. Yeah, I completely agree with those concerns, Carson. Cody, anything else?
He is more like an Isaiah Simmons than a Micah Parsons, I think. And Isaiah Simmons even did get drafted at, was it like 8th overall or something?
11 or something.
Yeah, he went fairly high because of his versatility. In college, they were playing him at edge. They were playing him at D tackle. They were playing him at linebacker, safety. But he wasn't great at any of these. He was just pretty good all around, yeah.
I think he ended up so high for me because of partly the class and just because he is unique and you can't coach his athleticism.
Yeah.
You can't really coach that. And some of these guys further down the line for me don't have the physical freak traits that Jalen Walker has. And, yeah, I like how he can get used multiple places and hopefully build on one or the other in the league in a good situation. But I don't really have any other cons. He's just smaller, obviously, for an edge guy, and only decent bend is what I thought too. So if we want to get into comps.
Oh yeah. Okay, so my comp for Jalen Walker is he's a gremlin. Yeah.
An AMC gremlin or the movie gremlin?
No, not the AMC gremlin.
Okay.
No. The movie The Gremlins. He's small, but he's a fast chaser who plays with energy and agility.
I like that one.
And then I picture, like, I had to look it up because I had never really, I have full transparency. I have never watched the full Gremlins movie.
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through either.
Yeah, but
I haven't.
I know they're like little fuzzy guys that whenever they eat chocolate, they turn into like little Hellraisers, demons. And there's this one scene where they're like tearing up a bar, like swinging from like the bar lights and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jalen Walker.
For my comp, I've got a new little mini segment. This is Cody's motor meter.
Let's go.
Yeah. We always talk about motor with these guys.
I like that.
And I'll have some motor meters here for these edges. So this guy, these are short and sweet, just like we like it. He's got a pretty good motor overall. So this guy, I compare him to a small block V8 with nitrous. Okay, pretty healthy, but you got that nitrous. So whenever you really want to get up and go and just lay the hammer, it's on demand. Power right now and
That's
speed.
Good. And he's gonna be a high draft pick. Nitrous bottles are expensive to refill.
Bottles are expensive.
Yeah.
My comp. You got to keep using the every time you do the motor meter, you got to use that accent too.
Yeah.
Like a mechanic's accent.
Yeah.
Alabama mechanic.
Yep. And my comp is, I have a couple comps here with the same school, same player, and this one is also, you know where I'm going. It's a former Georgia player as well, Nolan Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. I like Nolan Smith, so I guess that makes sense why I had him 3.
Yeah.
Nice style. Okay. Moving into our other guy that was tied for 4, James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. He is 6'5", 245 pounds. He has 32 3/4-inch arms. In 2024, he played 13 games. He had 38 total tackles, 23 solo, 23.0% pass rush win rate. He had 7.5 sacks and 13 tackles for loss, 55 pressures, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. Kean had him at 2. I had him at 6. Carson had him at 8. So Kean, get us started.
Yeah, as Cody just said, I had him at 2. I really love this guy. This is, forget that he ran a 4.47 40-yard dash. Yeah, that's cool. He's a tall, fast guy. But I just loved what he did on the field as well. He's both fast and quick on the field. He makes offensive linemen whiff at him sometimes. He sidesteps with some quick and choppy steps, a little bit of like a Savion Williams-esque sometimes out there on the field. But then he speeds towards the quarterback with that 4.47 40-yard dash speed. Just very impressive movement skills from a 6'5", 245-pound edge. And then also just despite the line of scrimmage being such a congested area with, God bless you.
Thank you.
Reset. Despite the line of scrimmage being such a congested area with some big 300-pounders, offensive linemen, he's so good at somehow avoiding the phone booth with his one-on-one offensive tackle matchup, which kind of goes into my comp later. But, he avoids the phone booth. He jukes them out somehow. Sometimes they don't even touch him. He will run down ball carriers in the open field. Just speed plus a large tackle radius is one hell-raising combo. And then finally, my last pro for this guy, he's just one of the guys, man. He's real. This guy is real. He's not the smartest. He's not like he's really not. He's just like a guy that I think I'd want to have a beer with.
Yeah.
He's just funny. He was interviewed at the Combine and was asked why he was wearing that hoodie t-shirt for the 40-yard dash instead of the tank top or like a tight short sleeve shirt or something lighter and more aerodynamic. And he said he forgot his other tops in the hotel room. That's what he said.
I remember
He's
that.
Like,
yeah, so good.
Forgot my other stuff in the hotel room. And then at the end of that 4.47 40-yard dash, he screamed, "Fuck!"
Why, do you think he was bad or something?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just like one of those things, like some guys grunt or like victory, like a gladiator warrior scream. He just went with "fuck." So, but I was just like, this guy makes me laugh. I kind of like him. But on the field. I love the way he moves for 6'5", 245.
Yeah, his feet are so quick. He wiggles by a lineman. I notice he's good at chopping, like chopping the hands and getting around them, push-pull tight ends. And the biggest thing that I think led to his success was the twist pass rush, where the D tackle dives down in and takes like the guards with him, and then you can come around the middle. And
he's so fast rounding that.
Yeah,
corner.
He's so fast. He's so good at that. And he's really just a game wrecker. It seems like he's always in the play making it happen, and his PFF backed this up with a 23% pass rush win rate.
There you go.
And,
there you go. Pretty good. That was pretty good.
I had to focus so hard for that. And, but I am concerned a little bit. Well, we'll get to that later, Cody.
Yeah, I don't really have much else. Now I
we
can't
can't
talk.
talk.
Yeah. Reset. Yeah, he is just a very explosive off the line, good athletic traits. I like his positional instinct, like to be able to win against protection and like win quickly. I think he reads and diagnoses what's in front of him very well. He uses his length well to get around blocks and just good balance, good motor. He tackles quick in tight quarters. Like whenever there's a tackle to be made right near him, he is on it, like flies on shit. And he can play on either side of the ball too, either side of the line. But getting into some cons I had for him, I'll get us started. Just the fact that like he's 6'5", 245, so he's not small, but he lacks a little bit of mass, just the way his frame is built.
He's skinny.
Yeah, he's like very, very long, like good length, but he's narrow, like especially like through his hips. He can, and with that comes like his play strength concerns. I think he can be knocked off his rush kind of easy. I don't know if that's being tall and narrow, and then his hips are just a little tight in general. But that's about all I have.
Couple pro cons to get started here, Cody style. So
nice, I love it.
He is definitely lacking strength, but sometimes he catches linemen on their heels because of how fast he is, so he makes up for that in that aspect. And sometimes he's so fast that he can't get slowed down to make a tackle. He just flies around the guy.
Yeah, like over pursues. Yeah.
And now he is very fast, but it's like he doesn't have any bend. For example, Chop Robinson can bend around the tackles. He can't. He's so linear, I guess is a good word for it. And he plays so upright, and I think once the tackle gets under his pads, he's done. And yeah, he doesn't have that strength to fight through the hands, but I think this speed does make up for it well. I'm just concerned because no bend and not a lot of strength. I don't know how it's going to translate. Once the NFL tackles figure him out, just get up on him quick under his pads.
I was holding on to that for a while.
Nice. And also, just another little thing. I noticed that he beat up on weaker competition a lot. Like, he had 2 straight minutes of UTEP highlights, just beating up on the same poor left tackle that probably is paying 95% of his tuition right now.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even want him, and their team was 2-8 at the time they played him. They were fighting for chocolates at the candy fountain or whatever the hell it is. And then he'd get to the real teams like Bama and whatever, and he wouldn't really get to the quarterback, but he would get some pressure on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the same things you guys did. Obviously, skinny, plays upright, those same things. The way I kind of worded it to kind of talk about his lack of strength is this guy's more like a spear instead of a missile. If we're talking about how hard he hits guys in the open field, like he's not gonna blast the ball carrier off his feet like a missile would. But sometimes he'll hit you right in the legs. And like he does some ankle tackles, which is like kind of like when you throw a spear into a spoke of a
bike
wheel. Yeah.
Oh, like on the Cheese Touch movie. What's that?
They
throw the football in the front tire.
Oh, yeah,
the ginger kid goes flying.
That's basically him, because sometimes he goes for ankle tackles. He's not the strongest tackler because he is very skinny frame, as we said. There are some plays where he just backs off whenever he can't break free from his block. There's not a whole lot of creativity if he can't win with speed. Like if, as you guys said, if an offensive tackle gets into his pads, it's most likely over. But he just has, like I said, he's very good at keeping it, or he's very good at not going into the phone booth, which is why we'll go into comps now. My comp for him is Travion Henderson as an edge. This guy,
Okay.
Both of them win with speed. They avoid the phone booth. They're both smooth movers. I was really proud of that comp.
Yeah,
That was
that's
a
pretty
player
good.
comp. I got some wild ones coming up here soon.
All right. All right, moving into Cody's motor meter. Here we got this is just a healthy small block V8. You know, this thing's rebuilt. This thing's all smooth running. He might be cammed up a little bit. Got that lumpy bump stick in there. So it's ready to go. It's powerful. He may even classify as a stroker V8 motor here. I mean, we got some thump and we got some down low torque and power. So. But not as much as Natras. He doesn't have Natras. He ain't that powerful. He ain't got a Turbski. He ain't got a superchargy. But he's a healthy small block V8, maybe stroker motor.
I like it. My comp's way simpler than those. I think he's just a weaker Brian Burns.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of
Kind of tall and long.
Yep, very skinny.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't think about that, but that's accurate. Okay, moving into our number 3 consensus-ranked edge, Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. He is 6'5", 267 pounds with 34 1/8 inch arms. In 2024, he played 12 games. He had 31 total tackles, 14 solo, 12.4% pass rush win rate. He had 1.5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 39 pressures, 1 forced fumble, 0 fumble recoveries. Kean and Carson had him 6, and I had him all the way up there at 2.
Dang!
Yeah, so let's get right into why I love this guy. He's just an incredibly rare combo of size, length, and explosiveness. He's got a quick burst step. He's got great size and strength, like I just talked about, and I really like his chase down speed. It's incredibly impressive for a guy his size. Great bend around the edge, and just he has the, like we just talked about James Pierce Jr. He doesn't have the size. This guy's got the size and power to beat those big linemen consistently.
Yeah, I'll touch on him next because I'm also a fan of him. I just couldn't put him any higher than 6 because of one of the cons that I'll say a little bit later. But this guy plays angry. Out of all the edge rushers that I watched, in my opinion, I think this guy plays the angriest. It's not on the level of Jared Verse. We all loved Jared Verse last year because he played pissed off.
Yeah.
It's not to that level. This guy is just kind of angry. He's like, oh man, you messed up my food twice now. Now I got to send it back again. But you can even tell by the way he runs in pursuit. This arms pumping, head down, powerful leg drive. Yeah. But there's one play, probably one of my favorite plays that I watched out of all of the edge rushers this season, 2024 versus South Carolina, where it's looking like it's going to be a forward touch pass. He slips by the left tackle to absolutely drill the wide receiver in motion.
Kill him, yeah.
Right before
Kill
the
him.
ball is about to hit his hands. He knocks the wide receiver off his feet back 3 yards through the air and where he collides with the quarterback, Lenora Sellers, so hard that the quarterback has to stumble back 7 yards until he regains his balance.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go down.
It was an awesome play. But yeah, that was the play that I was like, oh, damn.
guy's serious, yeah.
This guy is serious. He's got some strength to move the offensive lineman and dictate the rep. He's strong enough to hold his ground on the line of scrimmage and run support, to plug up gaps or even create his own gaps. He's just much faster than he is quick, in my opinion, as well. If he gets a head of steam out in space, it is scary. This guy is very scary. At 267 pounds, 6'5", to run a 4.59 was. All the analysts were going just like crazy. Like, yeah, it was cool that James Pierce Jr. ran a 4.47 at 245, but for a 267 pounder to run a 4.59, everybody was going nuts about that. He was one of the big winners of the combine, and yeah, if you get him out in space, he's going to lower his shoulder and absolutely rock the ball carrier. Which I'll explain what I'd like to see him do later. So, but Carson, you have any other pros?
Nah, nothing else good to say about him. You guys said everything I'm already thinking, but. Kind of a pro-con. Once again, Cody Style.
Love it.
I just think this is also kind of a summary. He's just a very high ceiling project. And that's why I couldn't put him any higher. And he kind of slow get off at times, like Kean said, faster than quick. I think if he goes up against a strong O-lineman, this is where he struggles most because the biggest move he does is pretty much just a bull rush. He has a little shoulder shake counter move that he does at times, so it's mostly just a bull rush. And it's kind of funny to watch him because sometimes he's so focused on dominating his blocker, and he has a one-track mind, so he just shoves him back that he forgets to disengage and go get the ball carrier. He just – it's like the what's that movie where he just keeps driving the guy? Oh, Blindside.
Blindside.
Yeah, it reminds me of Blindside, but on defense. He just takes the blocker and he just keeps driving him back and back and back. He never goes and gets the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Had to take him home, Coach.
Had to take him home.
Yeah.
Take the bus.
And sometimes he does this for so long that the offensive lineman just eventually just, brings him down and lays on top of him because it's like, what else are you going to do? And with all this size, it's kind of a bad, weird combination that I have here. I think he's gangly and uncoordinated, but at the same time, he's also stiff.
Okay.
Okay.
More cons that I saw. I think that, yeah, as I said, he's so much better in run support right now than pass rush. And that's one thing. That's why I couldn't put him any higher than 6, because if you're going to be an edge rusher in the NFL, you think about the best ones in the league, the game wreckers, they are the pass rushing specialists. I mean, they can play some run defense too, but you think TJ Watt, Myles Garrett,
Max
Crosby, Micah Parsons, all those guys are disruptive pass rushers, and we just haven't really seen that yet from Shamar Stewart. I do think that he has the build and the athletic ability that he can get to there, but he's often right now he's a step too late getting to the quarterback because he stays engaged too long, mostly by his own choice, like Carson said. And here are his PFF grades for 2024: 88.2 run defense grade and 67.2 pass rush grade. I love his play style.
Me too.
And here's my plan for him. If he were on my team, because I would definitely, I know he's my edge 6, but I would still be taking a shot on him in the first round. Maybe not as high as I've seen him go, like maybe not top 10, but if he like slips back, if he's in the back half, I'm probably definitely taking a shot on him. I just don't think he excels as an edge right now. Feels like he needs to switch positions. So here are my propositions to you, Shamar.
Okay.
You listen
up.
Okay, I want to see him right now. He's at 267.
Yeah.
I want to see him bulk up like to 285. I know that's 20 pounds, but like put on some fat, and he's still gonna
Put on some fat.
Put on some fat. We need a fat guy here. Yeah. Put on some fat or muscle if you can. I don't think it's gonna be able to happen that fast because the NFL season will be coming up here soon. But bulk up to 285. And just be a menacing, agile interior defensive lineman with his strength. I would love to see that. Or I'd love to see him. This one would be even more awesome just for the way he tackles an open field. Slim down like another 10 pounds, like 257, 255. Just be a huge downhill crashing, run stopping linebacker with open field speed. That would be. He'd probably kill people.
He might kill somebody.
Yeah. I just don't like him at edge right now because he's not a pass rusher. But I think he can grow into it. But I don't know. I love him as a prospect. I just couldn't put him any higher.
Yeah, his cons that I kind of had I saw what you guys saw for sure. For the length that he has, he going off of like how he's not a good pass rusher. He seems to let his blockers get into him too much. I love the way he plays, but like we talked about, he doesn't really seem to have a plan sometimes. He just kind of uses strength and power and goes and gets it.
I think he enjoys whenever they get into his pads because then he can like really rip
it. Yeah. And yeah, I think he needs to develop some more moves too. I think Carson mentioned that earlier, but that's what I saw too. But man, I just love this guy so much because it just you can't coach, you can't teach the traits that he has and like his play style. You can't. You either have that or you don't. And if you don't, he's so high for me because if you have this, there's a decent chance that you've got the drive to be able to make whatever changes you want to be successful in the league. And yeah, you just can't coach it.
You have anything else to add, Carson? Before we get into
I'm ready to
comps?
get into comps.
All right, my comp for him is Bowser off
that's
of like
good.
the Mario series.
There we go.
He's a strong, mean, powerful,
Mean cuss.
but the main character, whether that be Princess Peach or the quarterback,
Yes.
they always get away, which makes him even more angry.
You know, you said that you wanted to bulk up 20 pounds.
Yeah.
This is kind of like carrying a small, or pretty big bike rack on the back loaded down with a bunch of drinks. So, does he have the motor to haul this extra weight, Cody?
Oh, listen here. On the motor meter, this guy's a small block V8, all right? It's healthy. But boy, does this thing have the biggest honking turbo that you have ever seen on this side.
Like
of
a
Mississippi.
96 millimeter?
This guy got a 96, 94 millimeter Turbski precision turbo. I mean, this thing's got the juice to go. Now, could it be better? Sure. That's why he's only a small block V8 with a turbo.
Definitely needs a tune.
Could need a tune. Could need twin Turbskis. Could need just a big block with a Turbski or a blower. But you know what? He is a healthy small block with a big old turbo. He's a 7-second race car.
Dang.
Maybe high sixes if he's lucky, but definitely in the sevens for sure.
Dang. But a 60 foot's like a...
60 foot's like a 1.2.
Okay. Oof.
It's healthy.
Wow. I like that because he's faster and quick, and
Yeah,
turbo takes a little time to spool up.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly. He makes some steam on the top end. Let me tell you what.
I love it. My comp is when a huge kid joins the basketball team, and all the old timers sitting on there in the back row with their old buddies, and they're like, "Man, just teach that kid how to drop step, and he'd be dangerous." And now Smart Stewart needs a little more than a drop step. He needs to learn like a up and under type counter to his drop step, and that won't be as simple. But yeah, I
love it.
that's
I'm proud of that comp.
Thank you.
I love it.
And then for my NFL comp, Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay,
Yeah, I
the
like
movement,
that.
skills, the size, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that a
definitely
lot. We might have the best comps on the internet.
Oh,
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
our we were just talking before the episode. We love Insane Shane, best mouth on the internet.
Yeah.
We got the best comps on
Best
the
comps.
internet. Yeah.
You won't hear any comp. You wait till you hear my Mike Green comp is probably to build it up a little bit, to get you edging a little bit.
I'm edging. I've been edging.
Yeah. Well, might be my best comp that I've maybe ever come
Oh,
up with.
boy.
Really?
I was so proud of this. I literally cracked myself up as my headcanon thought of it. I was like, where did that come from? But that makes sense.
You won't get this type of quality comps on ESPN. But if you want us to, I mean, call us up. All right, that moves into our number 2, Mike Green out of Marshall. He is 6'3", 251 pounds with 32-inch arms. In this 2024 season, he played 10 games. He had 84 total tackles, 38 solo, 20.2% pass rush win rate, 17 sacks, 23 tackles for loss, 34 pressures, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Keaton had him 3. I had him 4. Carson had him 2. So Carson, get us into it.
Love this guy. We talk about it every episode. There's always that master or jack of all trades, master of none.
Yep.
Is this guy. He has some speed, some power, some finesse, and he can really use a variety of moves to get through the line. That's what I love about him. He has a counter for everything. He has a main option for everything, and he's always the one initiating the move. He does the hand fighting first. He doesn't let the tackle come up on him. He's a warm motor. Not hot, it's warm. He's always pushing, fighting, scrapping to get to the quarterback, but he doesn't play angry like Shamar or Jared Verse does. Good bend and agility, good get off, and all around he's just a good edge that doesn't have one dominating trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily think he was a bad player either. I had him at number 3. What I saw from this guy, they measured arm length, obviously, for edge rushers because it matters, because offensive linemen have long arms, and if they can get into your pads and hold on to you, you're done for sometimes. But They should have measured this guy's legs. This guy's a very long strider. All 3 legs, probably. Jerry Jones probably has the numbers on that.
Oh, he does.
Call him up.
Yeah.
But very long strider. He takes a long and explosive step to cut in front of the offensive lineman's face to spring around him. It's like it's a thing of beauty that our basketball coach would have loved. It's like you gotta, whenever you're going around a pick, you gotta take that long step and you gotta cut off your defender, put him on your butt, put him on your back. I can picture him smacking his own ass now. Put him on your backside. That's what Mike Green does. He cuts off the offensive tackle and just gets around him. Very speedy in pursuit. He's slippery with burst as well. This guy shoots through a gap so quickly while the offensive linemen barely even have time to get their hands on him.
Yeah.
And also, I said that James Pierce is a spear. Well, Mike Green is a missile. Yeah. Once he gets locked on to who he's aiming to tackle, he's like a heat-seeking missile. He can make some quick turns if the ball carrier is trying to evade him. He can follow him. Very good follower. Just full speed from the time he takes off until the whistle blows.
Yeah, he drives through protections with a plan and a purpose. And the only other thing I'll add is he's got an array of moves already. He's got a spin. He can lean and chop. He's got swim moves. He's already well-versed in that category. Moving into the cons here, somewhat on the smaller side. Sometimes may run out of gas, moving in that motor meter, but he plays incredibly hard, and he seems to maybe tire out sometimes a little bit. And just that weird, maybe bad departure from Virginia when he left there, which their head coach, Virginia's head coach Tony Elliott, said that Green was no longer active after not being seen after fall camp. So I don't know any more really details on that, but it was just a little bit weird.
He did take the 2022 season off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he explained.
Probably.
Because I saw somewhere that he explained like himself then. Because part of the reason he
he's probably
was
got a reason
kind of
for
low
sure.
on draft boards was because people were concerned about like what the hell happened here.
I'm sure it's nothing. But
Yeah, it was like a decent explanation, but I'll find it.
It's like one of those things where Anthony Richardson is like tapping himself on the helmet, like,
Yeah.
tired, coach.
Yeah, get me
Take
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, get me out.
I'm kind of tired of this football thing. I feel like scouts really, while you're looking for that, they're trying to stall here. But while one thing the scouts really look at, like why the interviews at the combine are so important, is because like they talked about it for Kayvon Thibodeau a couple years ago. They're like, do you really enjoy football? Or like, there was like some
Do you love
rumors.
ball?
Yeah, there was like some rumors that like he wanted to be a reseller or something like that, or like he wanted to change his career. Like that's one of the reasons that the interviews matter so much, is because
Interviews and top 30 visits.
yeah, top 30 visits. This is literally a job interview. Like you're out there in your underwear running around. Like that's a big part of your interview. But then also you're a person. You're showing up to a workplace every day. Like yes, these guys are professional athletes. Playing the game of football is different than being an accountant at a law firm or something. But like either way, your coaches are your bosses. They have to deal with you every single day. You need to be coachable. And if they see that on your record, like this guy just up and left Virginia, took a year off of football before he decided to come back, I can see how that would be concerning.
Yeah, anymore you hear more and more from coaches or like staff personnel that go to the combine that they almost that's almost the main reason they go to the combine anymore, is to talk and interact and see how their peers act around them and like the other players and teammates and stuff like that. And same with like pro days, same with top 30 visits. I mean, because obviously these guys play enough games, these top guys play enough games that scouts and coaches can get a pretty good idea of how they play. You don't really need to see the Underwear Olympics.
Still fun to watch, though.
So fun to watch. Yeah.
Chris Jones. So it was kind of worse than I thought, but I guess he had. An anonymous sexual assault allegation.
Yeah.
His quote was, "There's accusations out there. I've never been questioned. I've never been asked. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody ever asked me a question about what happened before I departed from Virginia. It was just accusations that caused me to leave there. As you can see throughout the process, I've been rising higher and higher. That should tell you everything you need to know. I've been sticking to the process, like I said earlier, and I've been telling the truth. I have no concerns. I have no problem with talking to these teams about it because I know who I am and I know the truth."
I'm sorry. You can't just, whenever you're talking about sexual assault, you can't just throw in, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't do that.
That probably made him drop a bit, yeah.
That sounds like it could have been handled better.
I don't think I know what you're saying.
That's why I said I thought it was worse than I thought. So I thought he gave actually good reason, and that was just him, like, you know what I'm saying?
He needs some PR training. It's okay. We'll get there.
Are we talking about cons still?
I started on.
Yeah.
Do you have any more cons before I? we get into ours, Cody?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
Well, I thought this. He is a very good like jack of all trades, but I feel like his main game is he's very. I view him more of a speed rusher. Now that could be just me. I see how you guys see him as more of like an all around, but as far as like on field strength and power, as far as upper body strength, I didn't really see too much like ripping too much. It's like a lot of very good leg drive and speed. Yeah. The 28 bench press reps that he put up was very surprising to me. He just on the field, I don't really see that like push that much from him, his upper body, because he doesn't really need it that much at Marshall. I think his hand usage is very good as far as trying to swim through offensive linemen's arms. But as I said, he doesn't really use them to rip too much. I would like to see him use that strength that he apparently showed at the combine. And my question is he going to be labeled as just a speed rusher in the NFL? And obviously you guys disagree with me, but that's my question to the public. Will he be just a speed rusher? I don't know.
I think that's his best part of his game, for sure. I don't know, like, he's not a true jack of all trades to me, but he definitely has the ability to.
Yeah, definitely has more speed and finesse than power. And I said earlier that I like how he makes a move on the tackle first, and this is because he does have short arms, so he has to make the first move. This leads to one of my cons. It seems like he can get manhandled at times, and this is when he doesn't commit to a move before he gets into the lineman, and this is because short arms, so I think they can get on his pads first, and if he doesn't do some hand fighting before he gets up on him, then he'll get manhandled. And my second biggest con, I just don't think he's going to be much or any help in the run game.
Yeah.
Because, like Kean said, he's not really a power guy, and I think that most times he's committed to the pass play, and I don't think he's really accounting for the run because that's not really – we don't know what he was asked of at Marshall. So
right.
we'll see how this team that he goes to uses him, but I think he mostly is just a pass rusher prioritizing speed and finesse.
Yeah, I like it.
All ready for comps?
Please,
Oh,
I've been edging.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this comp is you're viewing it from you are the offensive tackle who's facing up against Mike Green.
Okay.
So this Mike Green he's trying. No, he's not. But as the offensive tackle, you are trying to catch a bowling ball covered in soap dropping from the second story.
Whoa.
That thing is roaring at you fast.
Okay.
And you might get your hands on it, but it's going to slip right through them, and then it's going to break the concrete between your feet.
Hold on. What'd you say?
From the
Bowling
top.
ball.
You're trying to catch a bowling ball covered in soap, dropping from the second story.
Two stories.
It's probably going to slip right through your hands.
Yeah, for sure.
And break the ground beneath your feet. The ground being the quarterback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the clarification. That's good.
My headcanon, I was like,
That's so good.
I'm just like watching it, and I'm just like, I don't know where that came from, but I'm writing it down.
Write that down.
Write that down.
That's good. How many poundages is it?
I'd probably put him at like a solid 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah, about like average size bowling
Yeah,
ball.
not quite a heavy, but enough to get
not
the
like
job done.
16, 18 pounder, but
Yeah.
it's coming at you fast. It's slippery.
If you get your fingers in the hole, it'll break your fingers.
That kind of lines up with my motor meter, all right? So, I think his motor does run pretty hot. But is it a turbo motor? Nah. Has he got nitrous? Nah. Supercharger? Nah. This guy doesn't even really feel like a small block V8. He's got too much closing burst and power.
He's carbureted, isn't he?
Well, I think he might be carbureted, but he's big block. This guy's big block V8.
Okay.
He's big block. But yeah, he might be carbureted. He ain't no EFI fancy stroker. Blah, 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 blah. I think he's just he's just your good old fashioned big block V8. He's reliable, powerful, a lot of torque. He's productive. You know, it's just he can get the job done. You know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, it's hard to follow those up, and I can't.
I can't.
So in the mock drafts I've seen, everyone's
bowling ball.
Covered in soap.
Yeah, 2 stories.
2 stories.
On concrete.
On the mock drafts I've seen, everyone's comparing him to Alex Highsmith, so I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
I have higher praise for him being my edge too. I'm going with a Khalil Mack here.
Ooh. Dang.
Okay.
That is high praise.
I feel like
Fits the
this
bill.
is a very talented edge class, and I think that his potential is that high. So I don't think that's out of the realm. Coming from a small school, like Khalil Mack came from Buffalo.
Yeah.
I could see it happening. I
Yeah,
could see it.
definitely has the room up top to do it. Moving into our consensus, number 1 ranked edge of the class, by no surprise, Abdul Carter from Penn State. 6'3", 250 pounds. In 2024, he played 16 games. He had 68 total tackles, 36 solo, 22.6% pass rush win rate, 12 sacks, 24 tackles for loss, 66 pressures, 2 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries. And like I said, we all love him. We all got him one across the board. So I'm going to get right into it. This is first of all, this is his first year being like a true defensive end from being an off-ball linebacker from before. But this guy's he's rabid and intense. He's got huge motor, which we'll get into in my motor meter in a bit. He's just got just about everything you would want in your typical edge rusher. He's got a crazy fast get off, very sudden. He's got great bend, plays with very good instincts, and he can play on either side. Got great closing burst and just awesome ability and change of direction. I love it. Love everything about him.
As a Penn State fan, I'm always trying to
Kill everybody.
Be more critical of
Yeah.
them.
Kill everybody.
As I was trying to be more critical of this guy, so the first thing, real story here.
Okay.
I pulled up his highlights, started watching him. After one play, I was confused. I was like, why is my YouTube like auto on 1.25 times speed? I seriously went to the playback settings, checked the speed, made sure it was on 1 times speed, and I'm like, okay, and I have to put him on 1.
So much
Yeah.
better.
Like, I seriously thought his game speed were in fast motion. That's how fast he is. He has incredible suddenness, strong fighter to get off blocks on top of that, good speed rush. He has an inside spin or inside swim or spin to counter that speed rush. He can line up on the edge or over center. I saw they use them very versatily. Good play recognition. Sometimes he can see a screen developing and not engage with the blocker so he doesn't get hung up. Great pursuit once the play's past him. And pro-con maybe, but he has all or nothing motion. I feel like he's either standing still, just watching and waiting to see what's going to develop, or he's going full speed. Like, he's never jogging or, like, shifting or drifting anywhere. He's either standing still or he's going
I think
full
that's
speed.
part of his instincts. I think he waits and he's just so confident that like he doesn't need to like drift. Like he just knows right where he needs to be right now.
I think the patience definitely comes from being a linebacker too.
Yeah, agreed.
Like kind of hovering back behind the defensive line. You got to see where he moves and then you attack.
And then, because he is always going full speed, I saw this lead to some missed tackles where he kind of overcommits and ends up flying past them. And I kind of have a funny con for him that I'll get to similar to that. But
Okay.
yeah.
You guys talked about his speed and his motor. I got to talk about his strength. His lower body strength really blew me away. I was impressed at
Blew the lineman away, too.
Yeah, it sure did. At 250 pounds, he can tack from inside or outside, just like you said. He always finds a gap to push through. He's like a cat trying to fit inside a cereal box. It might not look big. It might not look like a big enough space at first, but damn it, he'll get in there.
A cat on catnip, too. It's just like,
Oh yeah, everywhere. Rabid.
But he always keeps his legs churning. As I said, that strong lower body is for real. The offensive lineman is not going to win the battle if they have to overextend their arms to reach out to get him. He's already gone at that point. And I love how he looks comfortable chasing in the open field and keeping the quarterback or ball carrier in front of him because he was that former linebacker. And there was this one game that I have to talk about, specifically against Minnesota this year. He was going up against a possible like late first rounder, but probably more like a second rounder in left tackle in Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota. He's 6'6", 331 pounds, and
Dang.
Abdul Carter on multiple occasions made him look like a high school offensive tackle. He made him look so weak and unbalanced. Like he got him just tripping all the time, and I love the way that Abdul Carter is such a versatile weapon. I would love to see him a linebacker too, but he's just so damn good at edge. He's not like Jalen Walker. This guy is way stronger. Same size. He's pretty close to the same size, but like just the strength and the sheer skills at edge rusher and just smarts, as you guys said, with patience. You have to keep him there, and he could be the first overall pick.
I see why he's getting mocked so high and why he says that he is that game record, game changer that you want at the number 1 overall. And
He played hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I'm like, and he was still best player on the field.
If the Browns get him, AFC North, man.
I'm afraid.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. A pro con I had for him, you kind of already said it, but it's just so funny to me because he comes in so fast that he could get beat. Like, that's the pro con I'll have. And then the only nitpicking cons that I could find was obviously he's just average sized, but I mean he uses that size incredibly well to the probably full potential, and maybe can continue to work on his hand game a little bit. That's all I could really nitpick.
Yeah, my biggest con, which kind of happened in the college football playoffs, I have a feeling he's going to tear his shoulder or chest because when he tackles, he spreads his arms out so wide. It looks like a damn eagle. He's flying in like this. And before he makes the tackle, he like throws his arms out so wide and like his arms are like those things like the metal bands that you slap on your wrist and it curls up.
Oh yeah,
he like flies and then his shoulder hits and it's like shoot.
Yeah, he tries to like rip at the ball.
Yeah, or like a Chinese fly trap too. It's like it's wide open and when something touches it, it's like boom.
Yep, you're right.
The main con that I have for him, he's very north to south. I didn't see much lateral agility in his pass rusher. It's not that I don't think he can do it, but like most of the time he's always going forward because he's pressing forward. He's moving forward like a train, and he can usually get through that way. But if he's going up against a smarter NFL offensive lineman, I don't know if I want to see him be able to move laterally and kind of juke him out more than just a straight up. I'm gonna get through you, and you're gonna be okay with that.
That plays into my comp so well. But
all right, are we ready for comps?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, my comp is Abdul Carter is a Rottweiler on a leash, literally dragging his owner through the park. Now, the offensive lineman is the owner, and he can only slow him down, but he can't seem to stop him in any way. He's just got to keep running until he wants to stop.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it. Moving into my motor meter. You talked about it. He's pretty linear. I talked about it. Huge power. Very explosive. Just never, even when he's like being slow and waiting, he's just ready to just right now. All right.
He's always on the trans brake.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
On the two-step.
He's on the trans brake, two-step, building boost, and then boom! Have you guys ever seen the Summer Nats, the Aussie burnout competition?
I haven't.
These
but
guys
I've heard
have
of them.
little tiny cars, gibungosaur motors with big old blowers through the hood taller than the car. Look it up. They do incredible burnout competitions. The motor is taller than the car. These things idle so violently that, well, yeah, this guy is a supercharged big block V8. Okay? Instant power, all the power to have, probably 2,000 to 3,000 horsepower.
Dang!
Yeah, he's
Dang!
big.
With
Now,
a supercharger.
yeah, and definitely in a burnout car because, he can definitely go straight. Maybe too far. He might hit a wall.
Yeah.
But, like, it ain't going to be hurt.
Yeah.
But he's just so powerful. They idle so violently. This guy's probably making 800-900 horsepower at idle. I mean, this guy's serious. He's got
Potential energy.
Yes, he got a lot of potential. He's a supercharged big block V8 for sure.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So with Jenna Walker earlier, I did the Georgia comp. Now, I hate to do it because everybody's doing it, but it's so perfect. The Abdul Carter, Penn State. I have my own version here. The Abdul Carter, Penn State comp.
Ooh.
So my comp here is Abdul Carter goes to Penn State.
Yes.
Micah Parsons from Penn State.
Yep.
But Micah Parsons with Penn State Chop Robinson's get off.
Ooh, that's really good.
Quick off the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really good. I thought you were going to say something about, like, Yetur Gross-Mato.
Oh, no. Hell no. No.
That's really good. I like it. Okay. Anyone else that we want a special shout out?
Absolutely. This is a great class. I think
This is
I
a
actually
good
want to
class.
talk about two guys.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first? Okay. First, I want to talk about Braden Swinson out of LSU.
Okay.
I was very impressed with what I saw from him. He was a guy who I hadn't heard anything about until about like halfway through this process, and then he just shot up the boards. He's now projected to be like a third-round pick. I really like how basically every time it looks like he's doing basically the same move, but it seems to always work. He stutter steps right in front of the offensive lineman. He gets that offensive lineman guessing, and once he's off balance, he can shove him backwards. It's like a very bullyish move where he's like, "Oh, which way am I gonna go?" And the offensive lineman's like, "Whoa!" And then, boom. Just a very smart pass rusher. 6'4", 255, 33 3/8-inch arms. He is also always lowering his head into the offensive lineman for that extra oomph of power. It just he also con, he looks very skinny out there, and I don't actually know if he played at 255. He looks more shaped like not Michael Pierce, damn it. James Pierce Jr.
Oh, yeah, James
Not at all like Michael Pierce.
Not at all like Michael Pierce.
But he's kind of built like that, but he plays in a much smarter way with better hand fighting. So I think that Braden Swinson, he's my edge 7. I think he's got a brighter future in this league. You want to alternate? Because I don't...
Yeah, I think I might have 2 as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I got to start with my edge 3 of this class, Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. I love this guy. He's another guy that can use speed, power, and finesse. He plays in pursuit, sideline to sideline, like a linebacker more than an edge. And he's great at never giving up on the play, great in run support. This guy has a hot motor. Kean said that Shamar Stewart, he thinks, plays the hardest in this edge class. I think Nick Scorton's right up there with him. Something about these Texas A&M guys. They're running hot, and he's a heavy hitter as well. He's a real thumper. Now, I really fell in love with this guy because I usually try to watch what competition they're going against because I think it matters. Like I said earlier, James Pierce is just beating up on UTEP. So I watched Nick Scorton 2 times. He hit Will Campbell, the generational offensive tackle, allegedly, with the nastiest spin move I've ever seen. Twice, both times with great success. You guys got to watch it. It was incredible.
Okay.
And I think he has enough strength. He's not super strong, but he has enough to get guys on their heels. He can spin, swim, speed. He does it all. And, yeah, I just love him for that. But the biggest con is it really racks around one big thing, and I have 3 things to describe it here. He often can't collect himself to finish the sack. He's great at getting to the cornerback, absolutely terrible at bringing him down. The amount of times I see him in the backfield, but he can't finish the play, it's frustrating. If I was a coach, it's like you drop the perfect play and everything, or not the perfect play. I mean, you have this all-star point guard, right? He hits 3 guys with different moves, break their ankles, gets to the hoop for a wide open layup, and then he misses. You did all that.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, we don't break any ankles.
Sure.
We just
No.
play the game right way, whatever. But and then my third way to describe it, he's great at creating havoc, but he can't produce havoc.
Okay. Explain.
What? So, he creates havoc by getting in the backfield and,
around him, okay.
and messing up all these linemen, and they're like, "Oh, so much havoc!" And then he finally gets there, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, nothing can. He can't produce havoc."
Okay, yeah.
So he's like one of the organizers of the Hunger Games, but he's not in it.
Yeah, kind
So
of.
he can release the bees into the stadium, or
Yeah,
release
yeah.
the animals.
Yeah, a little bit. Or it's kind of like someone brings a gun into a government building, and it's like, holy cow! and then he goes to shoot somebody.
Oh, it's just a Nerf gun, dude.
Yeah, he goes to shoot somebody, and it's just like it's the Nerf gun that you stick the dart in the end, so just like.
I thought you were going to say it's like the cartoonish guns from the old cartoons that you just shoot it. There's a flag that shoots out that says bang.
Bang.
That too. Yeah, he gets in the backfield, it's like bang, and the quarterback's like, ooh.
Yeah. It's like one of those scary movies that are kind of made to be funny, but there's
Scary
a
movie?
There's a jump scare, and then jump scare flies up on the screen, and the person is silent in fear, and then he just says, "Boo!" and they start screaming.
That's him. That's Nick Scorton. Then the last thing I have to say about him is I think he has more aggression than skill and talent. And I really fell in love with him for that.
That's great. I was the reason why I have him down to edge 11 is because he before this past season, Texas A&M. Before he made it to Texas A&M, he was at Purdue first.
Yep.
At Purdue, he was smaller. Texas A&M, he went there and the coaches wanted him to bulk up. He bulked up to 285. That's what they had him listed as. And, on his film, he looked kind of fat. A little bit fat.
Yeah, he looked like a bowling ball.
He looked like a bullfrog is what he looked like.
Yeah.
But his rip and go pass rush style was great. And I think he is great at that. I do love his motor. But the problem is now he slimmed back down to 257 at the combine because this is the weight that he wants to play at.
Yeah.
And that's what I think he's going to be better at. But I just don't want any of his strength to go away. So the reason why I have him at 11 is because there's a question mark there. I don't know what's going to happen now that he's slimmed back down. Because honestly, he played pretty well. He moved so well. If he was playing, say, maybe it wasn't even 285. Maybe he was 280. Either way, that was impressive the way he moved last year. But it's just a big question mark is my main thing. But motor is all there for sure.
Yeah, I think that leads into my I think he can play at pretty much any weight he wants to and be pretty successful, which I do have a motor meter for this guy.
Oh, man.
This guy is your Ford Power Stroke 7.3 liter
Ooh.
with a big turbo.
Ooh.
Reliable. Just it's not the fastest motor out there, but it's
that's for sure,
reliable and lots of power available if you just get on it. You know, it's got that big turbo.
You really got to lean into it to get something out of it.
Lean.
Yep.
Go. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I was going to shout out Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College. He just plays with aggression and relentlessness, but he's also, which I love, obviously, but he's also very smart. He's quick off the snap. He's got good pursuit speed and finishing burst. I like his bend and agility. I think it's pretty impressive. Keeps his hands active in the rush game, and he's got very good skill and athleticism in general. And for his hips, some guys have tight hips or they're skinny or something like that. I think his hips are very smooth, and his change of direction is impressively sudden, and gets past blocks quick. And he's one of those guys that's just electric to watch. And he's had very good production probably great production over his 4 years of college. It's got a pretty good motor, too, on him. I mean, if you guys want to say anything else before that.
Yeah, I gotta.
Well, I guess I can get into cons, unless you have pros you want to
I
add.
also had some pros. I love Ezeraku as well. For one thing, that's one of the coolest name in this draft class.
Yeah.
Ezeraku,
So
that's
good.
just awesome.
Yeah.
Tough to spell, but once you say it, it's
tough to
awesome.
spell, yeah.
But
Ezeraku, I'm a rock you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very creative pass rusher. I loved he could spin, sidestep, swim, bull rush. He could do it all. He wasn't always the fastest, so I guess that kind of leads us into our comps. But very long arms allow him to do these things. 34-inch arms on a 6'2.5" man was pretty crazy. I really want to like this guy because he is a pass rush winner. But is he too slow? Is my question.
Why I had him at my 7, my edge 7, and I really wanted to have him higher, but why I didn't is because he's obviously slightly smaller, and I think he can get engulfed if he's not careful because he's smaller. And yeah, he just doesn't have the best bull rush power to collapse the pocket and get back in there, and he just spins with wins with his speed and his moves around blocks, and so with all that and that competition level, he plays at Boston College. That's why he's all the way at 7 for me, but I really do like this guy a lot.
Yeah, he's not really the powerful presence who can set a hard edge and run support, but he is just very technical, and I like that. But slow, which I'll give you a comp first. He's that grandma who loves to bake. Let me explain.
Boy, please.
She's got endless recipes for any food you want.
Okay.
It kind of takes her
it.
some time to cook them up, but that's
Sure.
because she's making delicious masterpieces.
Wow, that's
But
good.
yeah,
good.
kind of slow, but he's got every technique that you want out of a pass rusher. It's just you can't teach speed is unfortunate. So
Beautiful.
Right. My motor meter on this guy here, this guy's an LSV8. You know, your Chevy LSV8, and he's got a heads cam and intake. So pretty built up. He's got pretty good power, pretty good just skills overall. He's versatile. He can get the job done very, very well.
yeah, I'll talk about another guy. And then did you have another one, Carson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll talk about my edge rusher 5. Ezeraku was 4. My edge rusher 5 is Jack Sawyer.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Sawyer, man. I didn't think I was going to like him because he was always, I don't know, he's always kind of viewed with his buddy there, JT Tui Maloau.
Nice.
But I really like Jack Sawyer. I think he was way better. I had Tui Maloau way down at 16, Jack Sawyer at 5. I think he's just smart in the way he changes up his attacks. He's going to attack the offensive tackles outside shoulder. Then he can break inside, spin move, bull rush, swim. I see him very similarly to Donovan Ezeraku, just without the kind of flair and pizzazz. I see Ezeraku having a higher ceiling. I think that Jack Sawyer now has a higher floor, though. He's heavier, 6'4", 260. His motor runs at a temp that is safe and correct for his make and model of vehicle. It doesn't run too hot, but it's not just idling either.
Yep.
It's just he's cruising at 45 miles per hour at all times.
Okay.
As a prospect,
Yeah, that agrees with my motor meter. Go on.
I think he's a solid all-around player who I would want on my team. I wouldn't draft him high, but like if he slips into the second round, middle of the second round, I'm taking a stab at that guy because I think that he is a solid all-around player. As a prospect, he's not a crisp $100 bill. He's more like a nice 20. Like you see a 20, it's like that's cool. I feel good about that in my wallet. Like I don't feel rich, but it's like feels good in my wallet.
Yeah.
But he always had help around him. Ohio State's defense has always been good. He's not a freak athlete. There's just nothing elite in his game. My comp for him is Harry from Home Alone. Harry's the smaller bad guy who has all the ideas. He's more of the brains of the operation. Now I have JT Tuimoloau out. He's Marv. He's the taller, kind of dumb one.
Just an absolute idiot.
Yeah, he always takes like the blow of everything. Like he gets hit constantly. He's just more the muscle. But I think that Jack Sawyer could be a very high floor NFL player.
I like it. I agree with that. I had him at my 10. But yeah, I saw everything you did. He's a very intelligent. He's more force than finesse, for sure. He's got pretty good instincts. Just good all-around player. Had great production in Ohio State's 4-game playoff run to the title. And yeah, he's not the most impressive athlete. Pretty slow. Can allow he's got kind of short reach for being as big as he is. Not very bendy. Doesn't really ever beat tackles due to his lack of burst and blah blah blah. So that leads into my motor meter here.
All right.
It's pretty good. I've been talking about V8s, and I've been talking about all these big diesels. This guy's just your Jeep 4-liter straight six.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for the
Yeah.
inline six.
It might be. I might give him a stroker. He might be a stroker, but he's very torquey, reliable, can be pretty rowdy if you get on it. But he just gets the job done, just not the fastest.
I like it. My last edge is my Edge 7, Josiah Stewart out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Let me lay it out for you.
Please.
So you have a mid to late first round pick. You're in love with Jalen Walker, and you just can't justify giving the draft capital to go up and get him. Okay.
I'm envisioning it. Yeah.
So then you wait until probably the third round, about second or third, late second, early third. Maybe you'll fall a fourth. It's hard to tell, not knowing. But you wait and you get Josiah Stewart.
Okay.
I think he can do for you the same thing that you want out of Jalen Walker. He's a good enough pass rusher, and he showed that he can drop into zone coverage. He plays determined and aggressive. He's very quick, and he I think of a good way to describe him here. He's
built like a linebacker.
Yeah, he's definitely built like a linebacker. He's not he's quick, but he's not elusive, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's always. It's gonna sound weird, but no pause. He's always grinding on dudes.
Oh,
yeah.
He's grinding as he goes past.
Yeah,
he loves touching the wall.
Yeah, he gets.
He's trading paint at all times.
Trading paint.
Yeah, he gets real low and kind of gets almost in the O lineman's belt buckle to get around him. I think he might get overpowered at times, but I just really fell in love with the versatility he can be used as a linebacker, as an edge. You can move him around the same way you want with Jalen Walker. And I think he does lack strength, and he's not the same athlete that Jalen Walker is. But I do think he has enough speed, aggression, determination, get off, leg drive, all that stuff to get to the quarterback if he needs to, and if he's not the focal point of the O-line. So, yeah, I just fell in love with him for really his versatility.
I can see why. I think he's a very good speed rusher. Quick twitch, smooth speed, specialized weapon who is good at what he does, which I have a comp for it. I don't know if you do, Carson.
I don't know.
All right, here we go. Well, this one's kind of a longer one. I almost started laughing while you started talking to him because I forgot that I put this here. But it was pretty late last night, and my mind was going crazy, I guess. But this guy he's the guy at the water park who is obsessed with speed. He shows up, he's wearing a Speedo, he's got Olympic swim goggles, he's got a hair cap, and he goes down the water slides with pencil-like form to avoid touching the walls of the slides so he can get as much speed as possible. He rides down about 12 slides, and he packs it up and heads home. That's all he pays to get into the water park for. It's kind of weird, but the guy is damn good at speed. He's like slapping himself before he's going down the water slide.
I imagine him standing at the top of the slide. The lifeguard's like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" He's cupping water in his hands. He's rubbing on his body.
He's oiled up. Yeah, he's got baby oil on.
He's like swinging off the bar about. It's like.
He smacks his goggles on his eyes and stretches his cap and slaps it down. And he's like,
yeah.
That's really funny.
funny.
Yeah, that's so good.
All the kids are like, "What the hell?" He comes to the bottom of the slide. He's still in his perfect spirit. Just cuts through the water.
That's so funny. Oh,
He has
that's
a,
awesome.
he has a watch that he wears so he can time
Oh yeah,
himself.
definitely times it. Yeah, for sure. That's hilarious. Oh my.
I was really proud of my Edge comps.
He was like a wannabe luge guy that couldn't make the Olympics.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he just sticks the water slides now.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, that wraps it. There can't be a better way to wrap it than that. We appreciate you guys watching. That was our top 5 edges from this 2025 NFL draft class, our consensus top 5. So, yeah, we appreciate you watching. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, at Last Stop Sports Talk. And, yeah, let us know what you guys think. And we got more to do, more Draft Brothers episodes coming. We got D-tackles next.
Corners,
safeties. Yep. So lots more to talk about. Like I said, we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you in the next one.